We are told that poverty is a natural state, a sad but unavoidable byproduct of a complex economy. Some people win, some people lose. That's just life. We are told that the system isn't out to get us, it's just indifferent. But what if that indifference is a mask? What if the hardships you face every day, the stagnant wages, the rising cost of living, the constant feeling of being just one step behind, are not accidental? What if they are not bugs in the system, but carefully calibrated features? What if I told you that the system doesn't just allow you to be poor, it actively engineers your poverty, not out of malice, but out of necessity? This is the core of Marx's brutal truth about capitalism. It's not just a system of production, it is a system of power. And for that power to be maintained, your financial struggle is not just a consequence, it is a prerequisite. Today, we move beyond the symptoms and expose the disease itself. We will dissect the three purposeful mechanisms capitalism uses to manufacture and maintain your poverty. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is an economic analysis of a system designed to funnel wealth upwards by purposefully keeping the bottom weak. This is the blueprint of your financial prison. And tonight, we are planning the escape.
Part 1. The necessity of your struggle. Before we expose the mechanisms, you must understand the core logic. Why would a system want poverty? Imagine you own a giant company. Your goal is maximum profit and stability. To achieve this, you need two things from your workforce: maximum productivity and maximum compliance. A wealthy, secure, and independent workforce is a nightmare for this goal. They can demand higher wages, they can refuse overtime, they can quit and start their own businesses. They have leverage. A poor, insecure, and dependent workforce, however, is perfect. They will accept low wages because they fear unemployment. They will work long hours because they are desperate for every dollar. They will not complain because there are 100 other desperate people lined up to take their place. Poverty, in the cold logic of capital, is not a problem to be solved. It is a resource to be managed. It is the invisible whip that keeps the gears of the entire system turning. So, how does the system create and maintain this state of managed poverty without using obvious force? It does so through three brilliant, insidious, and purposeful mechanisms that operate in plain sight. Part 2. The three mechanisms of purposeful poverty.
Mechanism number 1. The engineering of desire, commodity fetishism.
You're not just buying a phone, you're buying a status. You're not just buying a car, you're buying freedom. You deserve this. Upgrade your life. Show them you've made it. The first step to keeping someone poor is to make them constantly want. In pre-capitalist societies, people's needs were finite: a house, food, community. But a system that requires infinite growth needs infinite demand. So, it has to create it. Marx called this commodity fetishism. It's a process where we are taught to have a mystical, emotional relationship with inanimate objects. We are programmed to believe that our happiness, our identity, and our social worth are not found in who we are, but in what we own. And this is done on purpose. The advertising industry, a multi-trillion-dollar enterprise, exists for this single reason: to make you feel inadequate, to manufacture a constant state of dissatisfaction with your life as it is. Your car is too old, your clothes are out of style, your phone is 2 generations behind. This engineered desire creates a permanent hamster wheel. You work hard to buy the thing you've been told will make you happy. For a fleeting moment, it does. But then the next advertisement appears, the next model is released, the next trend begins, and the feeling of inadequacy returns. So you work harder, you take on more debt, you sacrifice more of your time, not to live, but to consume. This isn't an accident, it's a design. By shifting your life's purpose from being to having, the system ensures you are always a willing participant in your own labor cycle. It keeps you financially poor because you are constantly chasing a horizon of desire that is purposefully moved further away the moment you get close.
Mechanism number 2, the management of fear, the reserve army of labor. Due to economic headwinds and restructuring, we have to make some difficult decisions. We value your contribution, but your position has been made redundant. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. The second step to keeping a population poor is to make them perpetually insecure. Marx identified a crucial feature of capitalism. It requires a permanent reserve army of labor. In simple terms, the system needs unemployment. You might think unemployment is a sign of a failing economy. From the perspective of capital, it is a sign of a healthy one. That pool of desperate, unemployed people is a constant, silent threat to everyone who has a job. It serves as a powerful disciplinary tool. Don't want to accept lower wages? There are 1,000 people in the reserve army who will. Don't want to work overtime this weekend? There are people who would do anything for your job. Want to complain about unsafe working conditions? You are easily replaceable. The fear of being replaced is the single greatest tool for wage suppression. It keeps you compliant. It keeps you from demanding your fair share of the value you produce. You accept a bad situation because you are terrified of a worse one. This isn't a flaw in the system. It is a core feature. From corporate layoffs driven by shareholder demands, to automation, to outsourcing labor to cheaper markets, the goal is always the same: to maintain a healthy level of insecurity in the workforce. They don't want everyone to have a stable, secure job for life. They need you to know that you are disposable, because your fear of poverty is the source of their power to keep you poor. Mechanism number 3, the atomization of society, the destruction of true wealth. You are the CEO of your own life. Be independent. Don't rely on anyone else. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Your success is all on you. The third, and perhaps most profound way to keep a population poor is to destroy their non-monetary forms of wealth. What is true wealth? Is it just the number in your bank account? Or is it a strong community that will support you if you lose your job? Is it the practical skill to grow your own food, repair your own clothes, or fix your own car? Is it a strong family unit that pools resources? These things, community, skills, interdependence, are forms of wealth that exist outside the market. And because they exist outside the market, they are a threat to it. If your neighbor will help you fix your car for free, you don't need to pay a mechanic. If you can grow your own vegetables, you don't need to buy them from a supermarket. If your community will help you with childcare, you are less dependent on a high wage to afford it.
The system, therefore, has a purposeful interest in breaking these bonds. It promotes radical individualism. It atomizes society. It makes you move across the country for a job, away from your family. It replaces community spaces with shopping malls. It replaces practical skills with convenient services that you must pay for. It makes each person an isolated economic unit, totally dependent on a wage for every single aspect of survival. They destroy your true social wealth so that you become completely dependent on the false monetary wealth they offer in exchange for your labor. They make you alone on purpose because a lone individual is a powerless consumer. A community is a potential revolution.
Part 3. Reclaiming your true wealth. You are taught to chase money because your real wealth, your community, and your skills has been systematically dismantled. You are kept in a state of fear because your insecurity is their leverage. You are programmed to desire endlessly because your dissatisfaction is their profit. This was their design, but now you see it. And the moment you see the design of a prison, you can begin to see the exits. The way out is not to beat them at their game. The way out is to stop playing their game altogether. You must reject their definition of wealth and start rebuilding your own. Step 1. Reject artificial needs. This is a declaration of war against the advertising that bombards you daily. Before every non-essential purchase, ask the question, is this a true need or an engineered desire? Practice minimalism, not as an aesthetic, but as a political act. Every material object you refuse to buy is a link of your chain you refuse to forge. Value experiences over possessions. Value freedom over status. Step 2. Build your own security. The system wants your security to be tied to your job title. You must tie it to your own value. Your security is not your employer. It is your skills, your knowledge, your reputation, and your network. Become so good at what you do, so unique in your skill set, that you are no longer easily replaceable. The reserve army of labor has less power over someone who has built their own undeniable value. Step 3. Rebuild your community. This is the most revolutionary act of all. Reject the atomization. Invest your time, your most precious resource, in your real wealth, your friends, your family, your local community. Organize a tool-sharing library with your neighbors. Start a community garden. Offer to help someone without expecting payment. Every act of mutual support, every bond of trust you build is a direct attack on the system that needs you to be alone and dependent. Your community is your true social safety net. Final truth. You are the means of production. They made you believe that the factories, the offices, and the code are the means of production. That is the final illusion. You are the means of production. Your mind, your body, your creativity, your time. Without these things, the entire system collapses into a pile of useless metal and silent servers. They need you more than you need them. They have simply spent centuries making you believe the opposite. Poverty is not your identity. It is a condition that has been imposed upon you on purpose for their profit. But today, you have seen the design. You understand the mechanisms. You know the purpose.
And this knowledge is the one thing they can never take away from you. It is the beginning of your power.
You have nothing to lose but your chains. You have a world to win. Your homework is not to overthrow the government. It is something much smaller and far more powerful. This week, perform one act of rejecting the system. Maybe you unsubscribe from all marketing emails. Maybe you spend an afternoon learning a practical skill on YouTube instead of consuming content. Maybe you call a neighbor and offer to help them with something just because. Choose one and feel the small but profound shift of power back to you. If this video has armed you with a new perspective, share it. Send it to one person who feels trapped, who feels like it's all their fault. Because this truth is a weapon, and it is best used when shared. Subscribe to this channel, because our work of deconstructing the systems of control has only just begun. Thank you for your time, your real time, the time that belongs to you. Now go and start reclaiming the rest of it.